The executives at Bud Light are waving the white flag. They're throwing in the towel. They have surrendered. We're going to see the CEO of Bud Light's apology. We're going to look at the controversy involving Don Trump Jr. in all of this. And make sure to stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal why the real victory in all this is yet at hand. The results of the disastrous marketing campaign with trans activist Dylan Mulvaney are in, and they could not possibly be worse for Bud Light. Its parent company, Anheuser-Busch, lost more than $6 billion in just 6 days. It was an absolutely horrific hit in terms of their bottom line. There were some reports that Bud Light sales dropped as much as 50% across the nation. To make things even worse, their closest competitor, Coors, saw their stock surge by nearly 10% in the midst of Bud Light's marketing fiasco. It's now absolutely clear that this marketing decision to embrace wokeness was an unmitigated disaster. Even the outspoken liberal Bill Maher pushed back against it, saying that Americans were sick and tired of having wokeness shoved down their throats by corporate advertisers. And so finally, after days of this debacle, finally the CEO of Anheuser-Busch offered what many believe to be a rather lame, flat apology. It was a clear admission that this marketing campaign was a disaster, but it did fall short of a full mea culpa in aligning their brand with trans activism, saying simply that they never intended to step into such a divisive situation in America, and they only want to bring people together. And they even attempted to hopefully put a stake through the heart of all this by releasing a thoroughly nationalist, populist, patriot-inspired commercial.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
Yeah, that was about as pro-Americana as you can get. I mean, those images were all Red State 101, so they're clearly doing everything they can to say, guys, we screwed up and we won't do it again, we promise, without actually saying it. Now, there appears to be two camps forming on the right in terms of interpreting this win. And make no mistake, this was a win. The question is simply, have we won enough in all of this? So on the one side, the answer is an emphatic yes. Yes, you've got the likes of Don Trump Jr. arguing that patriots need to stop boycotting Bud Light because they've been so financially loyal to Republicans. Here's what he said on his podcast.
Anheuser-Busch totally shit the bed with this Dylan Mulvaney thing. I'm not, though, for destroying an American and iconic company for something like this. Trust me, the memes have been so good. I'm sitting there chopping that, like I want it. But like when I actually look into it, I'm not going to blame the whole company for the inaction or the stupidity of someone in a marketing campaign that got woke as hell. The company itself doesn't participate in the same leftist nonsense as the other big conglomerates. I had my team get into the details, and we looked into the political giving and lobbying history of Anheuser-Busch. And guess what? They actually support Republicans. In woke corporate America, Anheuser-Busch supports Republicans. Last cycle, their employees and their PAC gave about 60% to Republicans and 40% to Democrats. And that's literally almost unheard of in corporate America.
So there you have it. And I have to admit, that sounds a lot to me like Don was getting some SOS signals from Anheuser-Busch. He may know one of the executives, perhaps the CEO, who lobbied him to get conservatives to back off the boycott. I don't know, but that just it sounded more like talking points than political opinion there. But regardless, Don Jr. is obviously getting some serious pushback from that perspective. And it's not just Don Jr. The ultra-left Daily Beast is reporting that the National Republican Congressional Committee quietly deleted a tweet mocking Bud Light. In fact, fundraising off of it. Thanks to Dylan Mulvaney, we can all finally admit that Bud Light tastes like water. I think they're being a little kind there. And then they market one of their koozies for purchase. Well, that tweet, which they raised a lot of money from, that tweet has since been deleted, quietly deleted, after obvious pressure from establishment Republicans that they were biting the hand that proverbially fed them. Regardless, all of these calls for the boycott to end, I think, are all too little too late. And that then leads to the second camp, which is forming around this win. And this is the camp that appears not ready to just continue to fight, but they're determined to win and win big. But first, gang, you've been asking me for weeks now when and where you'll be able to access my brand new research guidebook about how to escape the Great Reset. Thousands of patriots like you have reached out because you're desperate to build a life of faith, family, and freedom in the face of Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum's wishes. Well, today is a very special day. My team and I have worked hard to compile this book, and the digital version is finally complete. And I just couldn't wait to share it with you, so I convinced my team to share it with you in basic digital format for a short time. And here's the best part. In the future, obviously, this book will be available for purchase, but today I'm giving it away absolutely free. Learn the 5 steps to escape the Great Reset, keeping your family and sanity intact, with my new guidebook available for a limited time, totally free, by clicking on the link below. In my research, I explore the methods patriots all over the world are using to escape the Great Reset, my insights into the real failure behind the globalist agenda, how to build a life that isn't reliant on woke corporations or institutions, and I even include the hidden truth, the daily news on the sites I actually read myself each and every day. Now, this isn't going to be available digitally for free for very long, so don't wait. Click on that link below and download your own free digital copy today. Matt Walsh spoke for most of us when he tweeted out, "The win with this Bud Light situation is when they publicly apologize for promoting transgenderism." If you can't see why that would be such a massive cultural victory and why it's worth pushing this boycott until we achieve it, then you really aren't cut out for this movement. So that's what most of us want. We want to see Bud Light have to come out and say, hey guys, embracing trans activism was wrong. It was wrong for us to push this and normalize this and offend the moral sentiments of our loyal customers. In other words, we may have won a city. We may have conquered a city here with this flat apology and pro-Americana commercial, but we want to take the whole region. We're not done here. And this can end any time the Bud Light CEO wants it to. All he has to do is come out and issue a formal and explicit apology to his loyal customer base. In the meantime, Bud Light is going to continue to get responses like this from country music star Brantley Gilbert. Someone threw a can of Bud Light at him when he was on stage, and his reaction was absolutely priceless. Again, Bill Maher was absolutely right on this. And this is what people like Joe Rogan don't seem to get here. Americans are fed up with wokeness. In my last video, I even showed you how half of the political left despises wokeness. Americans hate wokeness, and they're sick and tired of literally having it shoved down their throats by corporate executives who think pushing this kind of ideological fanaticism amounts to some kind of twisted moral good. We've had it. We've had it with Bud Light, with Disney, with Netflix, with Hollywood, you name it. It's time for corporate America to learn its lesson the hard way. Get woke, go broke. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video on how the woke left has officially lost the Young Turks and a Kasparian. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.